Brandon will be speaking for 15 to 20 minutes. And Brandon is I would say a mental health expert. He's also a speaker on this subject. He's an entrepreneur and a mental health advocate. He's from Bellingham, Washington, and in his spare time, he likes to run and play soccer. So, do we have, Brandon, a title to your speech, or would you like to tell us a title to your speech?
Yes, the title is called "The World is Going in the Wrong Direction. Here's Why."
The world is going in the wrong direction. Here's why. That's the speech by Brandon. The world is going in the wrong direction. Here is why. Take it away, Brandon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sal, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. So as you know, my name is Brandon Burbank, and I've gone through a lot of mental health struggles in my past. Therefore, I've been able to accumulate a lot of experiences, expertise, knowledge, and power to help empower other people and change other lives that have been impacted by mental illness, mental health condition, mental health struggles, and anything in between in that realm. Therefore, let's get into it. I created a list of 4 specific components that are going to be, which we're going to dive into together and really unpackage what is giving, what's helping, essentially taking your life to the next level. And for those that are struggling with their mental health, so that they can allow themselves to, break through those chains of, what they're going through and finding contentment, success, and sustainability. Therefore, starting with step 1. But before I start into step 1, I wanted to start with a statistic out there that's really imperative for you all to really, really unpackage and to really sit with for a moment just now. And that is, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, over 50 million Americans are living with a mental illness. So that's a statistic. That's a really significant statistic because the population in America is over 300 million, and if 50 million out of that population is struggling with some type of mental illness, mental health condition, it's like, how are we able to focus on enlightening this specific population in this world? Because we can become. I'm part of that, and I'm speaking from my own experiences, from my trials and tribulations to successes, and how I've been able to take my life, turn it in from nothing and turn it into something, or just from vice versa, from something to nothing to something again, and how I turn my life into a dream, so to speak, from a comeback to success, all based off of my mindset, my mind power to change my circumstances. And I speak really highly of these experiences, as I talked about in my book, Come Back to Success, Relentless Commitment for a Better Tomorrow, as well. So starting with step 1, develop self-awareness. This is so key because when you develop self-awareness, you're giving yourself the ability to say, okay, here's what's going on right now in my life. Here's how I can change the trajectory of my life, and being aware of the insides, what my gut instincts are telling me on a daily basis to help change the trajectory of my life, changing my future, being in the present moment and allowing myself to really embrace what's going on. Relying on gut instincts is so pivotal because it gives you the ability to have a successful life when you are sustainable and you're actually going through the right direction, the right actions, the right habits that you've formulated. So when you know something is not right and you make a swift change and you go and you become more mindful and you learn from that experience, that is called self-awareness. And I also like to call that wisdom. So not long ago, I was hospitalized in my past several different times, and I was able to successfully get a job, get back into school, and start a business as well to help inspire other people. These are tangible examples that I wanted to share with you all tonight that really outlines that, people who have had a mental illness condition like bipolar disorder or just any mental health struggles in general, they're not just a lost cause, not all the time. Now, I will say sometimes there's a lot of people out there that are really far gone in terms of how they, navigate their journeys, and it's hard to really connect with people. But I can tell you right now, based off of my track record and how I've been able to make my lemons into lemonade, I've been able to turn my life into a dream, into a success. And we all know that it's not perfect. It's not an easy ride. But I can tell you right now that it's totally possible to change the trajectory through self-awareness and developing that. Another thing that I'll go into really briefly about developing self-awareness is self-esteem. When you have the right self-esteem, you have the right approach to really, really give yourself that ability to say, hey, here's where I'm at, but here's where I believe I can take my life to the next level. And it's having that faith, the proper spirit, as Sal mentioned in tonight's speech as well. These are the types of things that I really think are what is embodying my life, my spirit, my sense of direction and confidence to achieve a goal, a specific niche market to help inspire the mental health community. And so many other people can really relate to that. But beyond myself, I don't want to talk about me all the time. It's also about you folks. It's how you've been impacted and the experiences that have been so unique in terms of how you've been able to turn your life experiences, which might be different than my life experiences, and you've been able to turn your lemons into lemonade yourself. That is a spirit of faith, a spirit of positive spirit in general to help get you to the next level. So now another question regarding developing self-awareness. So are you finding enough time and space to reflect on your life? Do you have enough time to realize, okay, here's what's going on right now, but do I need to take a moment to just pause and press the reset button, press the recalibrate button in my life and say what's going on. I find myself doing this all the time because when I'm out there trying to save the world and change the world. I know I can't save the world, but change the world in a positive direction. How do I do that? Well, it's also by giving myself the ability to say, hey, I need a break sometimes and I need to just take a moment to just pause and regroup and reset and be in my own thoughts again and recognize that it's a journey. It's a journey. Like how you could do it is you can realize your potential by being with yourself. Like what Yoda says and Luke Skywalker and all the famous characters out there in the world who have really inspired us to become great people. Self-awareness is so vital because it's like a compass that can help guide you to your purpose and plans, resulting in your dreams becoming a reality. These are really important things, and compounding it's compounded to help get you to a further direction towards growing yourself and growing to your biggest potential and your wildest dreams. So now we're doing step 2, which is confide in someone you trust. So this is an important topic because part of this is really around for people that are struggling with their mental health and they need direction and they don't know who to reach out to. Therefore, there's a select few of people. For example, you have a parent, a family member, a friend, mental health professional. These are some examples that I'm just outlining. They might not exactly work for you, but they might work for you as well. So being open to confiding in someone you trust so that you can really elevate yourself to the next level and say, okay, it's okay to be vulnerable with another person, with another human being that can give you constructive feedback on your life and give you, that other second opinion on what's going on, that what you're being faced with. These are the types of things that are so vital towards saving lives. I mean, we're talking about saving lives. We have to be able to talk about our feelings and our emotions. And I know that there's a lot of stigma around in mental health and talking about our emotions when we're not feeling well, because sometimes it's life is great and we're always doing a wonderful job, but it's also important to stay on the other side of things and recognize that it's good to confide in someone we trust especially when we're working on recovery and when we're, for example, when we're working on like relapses or recoveries or anything that's pertaining to finding stability in your life, because there's a lot of people out there in this world that aren't stable, that aren't doing what they need to do to take care of themselves, and they have a choice. It's up to them to make changes for themselves. I can't force feed people to change their lives. So as a result, asking for advice and opening up from the right person can make all the difference. So that's step 2. Step 3 is take charge of your life. This is an important one because when you take charge of your life, you realize that you are the driver's seat of your life. You are in the driver's seat of your life. You have the ability to make changes, to change the trajectory of your life. Not everybody's going to understand you, who you are, what you do, your past, but you know what? You can still recognize that you can have the self-esteem backed like perspective and mindset that will help give you an alignment approach towards achieving your goals, towards achieving more success, towards building momentum that is slow but steady, that can help you change your life for the better and inspire other people around you. Like I talk about specifically how you can, if you want to be inspired, you have to inspire yourself first. And then once you inspire yourself, you can inspire people around you, the people that we associate with on our daily basis in our lives. That's the type of impact that we can make. And you know, at a micro level too, it starts from within your own heart and how you approach your daily basis and how you approach your daily life goals. So that's really totally in alignment to taking charge of your life. Specifically on how you take charge on your life is how you really, have yourself to be, what is it, accountability. That's the word I'm thinking of. So the word accountability is really important because when you're accountable for your actions, you're accountable for your life, you take charge of your life. These two work in alignment together, taking charge of your life and accountability. Because when you're accountable for yourself, you don't have to worry about, putting the blame on others, on responsibilities of other people or other circumstances. You just are merely telling yourself, this is where it's happening in my life, and I'm taking lucrative steps to change the trajectory of my circumstances for the better, allowing myself to make an impact in myself in my own life, which I believe in turn will then inspire other people around me because of the ripple effects that it has based upon just how life works. So accountability is another one that I really want to emphasize, and being mindful about that. Even if you're like, it might sound easy or right now, on Zoom and everything, but it's totally not. And I can totally relate to all of you who are like, I'm really skeptical about what Brandon's saying right now. But I can tell you right now, because I've been able to, single-handedly start a small business in the state of California and Washington State and grow this to another level to building an impact and just so many other examples of how I've been able to succeed, such as going back to school and doing other X, Y, and Z, my health and fitness and things like that. So that's why I can tell you right now that it's totally possible, because if I can do it, so can you. So we'll keep it going here to the care plan, which talks about taking charge of your life as well. So the care plan, this is something that is specific towards people, again, with mental health struggles and with conditions who are needing to become more successful and find more direction in their life. With that being said, the care plan essentially it's like a document that you can create, and you can find references online as well that helps allow you to find more ability to find direction in your life. There's some specific examples like finding the right hospital. I know it could be to the extreme, to the max and everything. And you're like, what? But this is the truth. Is like there's 50 million Americans that go to the hospital, or just, I'm not going to say that. Not that's not the right statistic, but just there's a lot of Americans that have been through a hospitalization in a mental health ward, and those are the types of examples of people that need something like a care plan to help guide them in their journey. And so what the self-care plan does is it helps you take charge of your life. It helps you create accountability for your life. It helps set you up for success. It gives you a sense of accountability for your life, so as you continue to navigate through your journey in your life and your specific goals as well. And this could be, more just if you aren't really related to mental health. I can also kind of introduce the idea around goals, and writing specific goals for yourself will help change the trajectory of your life as if you are staying committed in faith towards your dream, your goal, the care plan or the goal plan. Those are, very come hand in hand, very similar, except this one's more related to mental health. This one's more related to just if you don't have mental health related issues, and that's just something that I could talk about on another talk. So and then I will also move along here to step 4, which is accept change. So accepting change is so powerful because when we accept change, it can be hard. Don't get me wrong, folks. I've been there. Like, there's been some times when I was like, wow, I don't want to go to the hospital, but I have to go because this is the best place for me in my life right now in this moment. And I took it on the chin and said, you know what? I'm going to make the best out of the situation. That's an example of accepting change that I've done, that I've conquered, and it's gotten me to here in this present moment with you all tonight. And it's a wonderful feeling to say, you know, that you've been accountable for yourself and everything that I didn't want to do, but I did it anyways because it seemed like it was going to be the best fit for my life, to change my life for the better and impact myself and get me part of God's plan for me as well. And then change inspires other people around you, and it basically, some ways to accept change are is to pause and embrace the present moment. When you pause and embrace the present moment, you allow yourself to say, okay, wow, all my stresses, all my problems, they're just in my head. All the things that used to bother me, like, just don't bother me anymore, because you can feel content and, solidified in your own self-esteem, which is one important thing that is, I go back to again, because of the importance of how it really solidifies you and gets you dialed into becoming the best version of yourself, helps you stay on track, helps you stay, ethically based, because, staying focused on your goals and dreams there can be enticing things out there that, want to draw you away from becoming the best version of yourself. So that's why staying firm in your faith towards your committed goals and dreams will help get you to to help get you to the next level. We don't have, let's see here. And then I'm gonna go to, I also added from my book Come Back to Success, referencing from chapter 5, the writing on the walls. I talk about specific mental health professionals and their impacts in the community of in the field of mental health, and this is in my book as well, and how we talked about discussions around how to change the conversation for mental health for people so that they can become more open-minded towards other people. Stigma in general, that's another word that comes to play in mental health and in our nation as well. I'm going to go to Zach Garner, licensed professional counselor, who talks about inclusivity. So I asked Zach Garner, as we look forward into the future, how can we as a community learn to grow and create more acceptance of others with a mental health diagnosis? This is a great question, depending on whom you ask. I maintain that building awareness through education and training is going to be the best way to increase people's knowledge of mental health. So there's more, but I'm just going to reference from that perspective because of the fact that what Zach really lays out, really honestly, is how education and training is going to be the best way for us to approach mental health stigma around the country and around the world, and how we can approach it from a community standpoint as well. So being mindful about that as well is an important thing that I think is powerful. So wrapping up as well, to in conclusion, I talk about the final step, which is be patient for changes to come to creation in your life. This is something that I've had to work on entirely for my entire life, and especially my adolescence. Like, part of my upbringing was, different as well, but different in a way, like, I was blessed to have a lot of wonderful memories in my life and a positive childhood. So, but with that being said, I've had to learn a lot of the lessons the hard way, and especially in my young adults and adulthood age range, I've had to learn how to make lessons and how to change myself for the better. I reference that because in my book, I talk about chapter 8, passion pathfinding, retail to motivational speaking, sacrificing thousands of dollars to move to Seattle, Washington, and then to balancing my budget and moving to Southern California. And then, and then just chapter 9 wrapping up as well with the calculated risk that has gotten me ahead in life, and just I wanted to give you guys all a lot of encouragement, how the focus points in this talk tonight was just a reference to help promote positive change and commitment towards my community, the mental health community, and how they can become more more powerful, and impactful and inspiring and can do attitude. Because there's a lot of people in this group that are successful people and are changing the world, and they're leaders in revolutionizing this world today, and I want to be a part of that as well. So I'm very grateful. And what do you need to do right now to take action for your life? Just think about that for one moment, and then think about how you can change yourself for the better. And how you change yourself comes from your insides, and that's where you're going to find the answers. It can be hard, but I can tell you right now, I found it because I decided to write a book. I decided to do a YouTube channel over 4 years ago, and I'm still trying to plug away at things, even though there's still so much more success that's waiting to be had. I'm 26 years old, and there's time is on my hands, and that's where I'm planning to continue to take it one step further, and continue to grow these opportunities, and staying in faith and towards the plan, towards the purpose. So now, what's the list of things you need to do to make a comeback to success? I'm going to summarize again. Step 1, develop self-awareness. Step 2, confide in someone you trust. Step 3, take charge of your life. Step 4, accept change. And the last one, which is step 5, be patient for changes to come to creation in your life. The patience is probably the most important one, because of the fact that nothing in life is created without time, and without your sense of allowing yourself to let things to come organically into fruition into your life, through time, through your efforts, through your changes and your perspective and your belief in yourself as well. I found that God has helped me in times of trouble and need, when there was like nobody around to pick me up. So go get it, go do it. I believe in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm always amazed at all of the information that you pack in. There's a lot of information, both personal, organizational. There's a lot of stuff in there. And
Yeah.
we'll leave that for the evaluators to give you more feedback. Right now, could I have the timers report for Brandon, please?
Could you stop the recording?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So Brandon